Let's talk about one habit that quietly keeps a lot of people underpaid in experiential marketing, saying yes too fast. And it's not because you're wrong for wanting work. It's not because you're desperate, but because speed sends a signal. And most people don't realize what signal they're sending. So in this video, I want to explain why fast yeses work against you, how agencies interpret them, and what to do instead without losing opportunities. Here's why fast yes feels like the right move. When you're first starting out, saying yes quickly feels responsible. You think, I don't want to miss the opportunity. I need to show I'm reliable. I don't want them to move on to someone else. And that makes sense. But here's the issue: reliability is not the same as urgency, and agencies can tell the difference. What if fast yes signals, even if you don't mean it to? In a busy system, behavior gets interpreted quickly. It's human nature. When someone says yes immediately, agencies often read high availability, low selectivity, and flexible boundaries. And that's not because they're directly judging you, right? It's because they're pattern matching. Again, it's human nature. Speed without pause suggests this person will take what's offered. And when someone appears easy to place, they're rarely prioritized for premium opportunities. Here's why pausing doesn't mean you're losing the opportunity. But this is where people get nervous. They think, if I don't answer right now, they'll book someone else. And sometimes that's true. But most of the time, agencies are coordinating multiple people. They're waiting on client confirmations. They're adjusting details, and they may not be finalizing instantly. A brief pause does not automatically disqualify you. It signals professionalism. It signals balance. It signals boundaries. The difference between responsive and reactive. So there's a key distinction. Being responsive means acknowledging the message, right? Confirming receipt of the message and asking clarifying questions. Being reactive means agreeing before you understand, skipping pertinent details, locking yourself in too early. Agencies value responsive talent and they get cautious with reactive talent. Here's why fast yes keeps your rates low. And the quiet part, most people don't actually see. When you say yes immediately, there's no room to adjust rate, no space to clarify the scope, no moment to really assess alignment. So the rate becomes fixed. Even if it's low, people who pause create space. This space allows better roles, clear expectations, and higher pay, if not instantly, over time. And sometimes it's not because they demanded it, but because the system adjusted to their behavior and patterns. Here's how a pause actually builds trust, because pausing doesn't mean disappearing. It looks like, thanks for reaching out. Let me review the details and I'll get back to you. It looks like, I want to make sure this aligns before confirming. And it looks like, can you clarify the schedule and the role? That tells an agency this person is thoughtful, they're not flaky. Thoughtful talent is easier to trust with important roles. And here's why urgency benefits the agency and not really you. So, agencies work on tight timelines, right? Urgency helps them fill those gaps quickly. But if you absorb all of that urgency, you lose your leverage. And your job isn't to move as fast as possible. Your job is to move intentionally. That's how long-term careers are built. So there's a cost of always saying yes first. Over time, fast yeses lead to burnout, inconsistent schedules, low pay ceilings, unclear roles, and resentment. People don't realize they're overextended until they're exhausted. And by then, it feels so hard to reset. But here's how to shift without becoming difficult. And this is important. Take notes. Slowing down does not mean that you're ignoring messages, you're not over negotiating, and you're not being cold or distant. It means you're acknowledging, you're clarifying, and you're deciding. Most agencies respect this more than instant agreement, an instant yes, right? What higher level talent does differently is this. People who get paid more usually pause before confirming. They ask better questions. They choose fewer events. They're not booked and busy every day. They move with confidence, not anxiety, not desperation. They're not in a rush. And because they're not in a rush, they're trusted. This is a standards issue, not a speed issue. This ties back to your standards. When your standards rise, your pace changes. Your decisions slow down, your yes becomes intentional. That shift alone changes how people treat you and how you treat yourself. Saying yes too fast doesn't make you reliable, it makes you predictable. And predictability without boundaries keeps you underpaid. Reliability plus intention is what gets you rewarded. If this video was helpful, where and you might use it because you've been moving too fast, subscribe for the next one. If you want to learn how to pace yourself without losing work, there's links in the descriptions. Move calmly, move clearly. That's where leverage lives. We're not rushing. There's always more opportunities.